Okay, so the first question is from JJ. He asked, I'm thinking of dropping my girlfriend because it'd help with retention, and I'd be able to focus more on myself, but I'm not sure. Okay, JJ, that's a tough one because I don't know how long you guys have been together. If you guys have been together for years and you plan on marrying this girl, then I don't see a reason why you should have to drop her to better yourself. I feel like, your partner should inspire you to better yourself. And also, I just want to touch on this real quick. Retention, it can be a good thing, but understand that you're not meant to be on retention for your whole life. Like, you are physically not meant to do that. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you to not do retention because I'm on retention myself. But when I do find the right woman, I won't be on retention anymore. It's as simple as that. And I feel like that's kind of the way that it should be. So if you feel like your girlfriend is not worth it in that sense, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be with her, regardless of if you're on retention or not, because she's probably not the right one for you. If you're going to be with a girl and you're going to spend a lot of your time with her, it should be somebody that really inspires you to be the best version of yourself and somebody that you can grow with, because you're always going to be trying to elevate yourself. You're always going to be trying to better yourself, and your girl should not be a distraction for that. If she is, then she's not the right one, and you probably should drop her regardless. You're going to have to follow your intuition on that one. If you feel like she's not going to serve you on this path, and vice versa, then yeah, you should be single. You should take some time to be by yourself and focus on your own individual growth and find somebody who can match you in that sense. The next question is from Igor Fortes. I think that's how you say it. But he said, hey guys, I'm 16 and a few days ago I argued with my dad because I was tired of him not letting me give my opinion because I'm not allowed of that. So I wielded at him saying why and how tired I was of him not respecting me. I wanted to do that for a long time, but I never had the courage. I was so angry that I finally exploded. So my question is, how to deal with toxic parents? Okay, Igor, I feel like everyone kind of has that moment, or at least I definitely had moments like that where, your parents don't really understand that you are capable of thinking for yourself and formulating your own ideas and living by those ideas. And I feel like depending on your parents' parenting style, you might have to do something like what you did. It sounds like your dad kind of has this like authoritative dictator type parenting style, and that is toxic. That's very toxic, and I think you did the right thing. I think at a certain point, if your parents are being that type of toxic, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to not lay down the law, but you need to tell them how it is. You need to check them and remind them that you are growing up, and you can think for yourself, and you have just as much of a voice as they do. Now I'm not going to sit here and tell you to just take over your household, but like I said, you need to kind of like set those boundaries with them. And, you need to establish yourself as a man, basically. You need to establish yourself as a man. Otherwise, your parents are going to keep treating you like a kid, because that's how you present yourself. So I think you did the right thing, personally. Now, obviously, you never want it to escalate to, violence or anything like that. But you definitely need to stand up for yourself. It's just like with a bully. At a certain point, you need to stand up for yourself, especially, when you're talking about your parents. You live with them. You have to put up with this every single day. At a certain point, you have to kind of, push back a little bit and just let them know, like, hey, I'm growing up and I have my own ideas about life, and I don't care if you accept them or not, but I'm going to express my opinion. I'm going to live by these morals because it's my life. The next question is from XXX Smoker XXX. Yo, Jordan, you inspired me to drop out of school at 16, but my parents obviously think I'm crazy and I'm starting to hate them for making me go to school, even though I'm trying not to. How do I cope with the pressure/stress of going to school while not hating my parents and being happy? I skipped over a lot of questions to get to this one. Now, if I skipped over your question, don't worry, I am going to get to your question eventually, but I needed to address this one. Okay, I needed to address this one. This one caught me completely off balance. Okay, I dropped out of college. Okay, let me say that again. I dropped out of college, not high school. Okay, in high school, I was a straight A student 4.0. I did not drop out of high school. The idea of dropping out of high school did not ever pass through my mind, and I would not recommend anybody to drop out of high school. I don't care if you're a millionaire already. I don't care if you have your business going, however successful you are. I don't think anyone should drop out of high school, because once you drop out of high school, it's done. You can't go back. You can never go back to school. And mind you, I hated high school. I did not like high school at all. But I still would never recommend dropping out of high school. Now, while it is possible to be successful without a diploma, it's much more difficult. Okay, and at 16, you are not mentally equipped enough to make that type of decision. And I know it probably sounds like I'm contradicting the last answer. At that age, you're old enough to kind of formulate your own opinions and morals. But you have to understand that this is a decision that once you make it, you cannot go back. Okay, so please do not drop out of high school. Don't do that. Once you finish high school, you're 2 years away. You're literally 2 years away. You made it, 11 years through school? You can do 2 more years, bro. 2 more years, and then you never have to go to school again. Forget about college. You don't have to go to college. Like I said, I dropped out of college. But the key is, if I decided tomorrow that I wanted to go back to college for whatever reason, I could do that. Now, like I said, I do relate to you in the sense that you don't like school. I did not like school at all, but I just stuck through it. I feel like high school isn't really that strenuous. It doesn't have to be that difficult. Honestly, if you hate high school that much, just take the easiest classes you can take and don't do any extracurriculars and go to school, do your work, and leave. That's it. Just go to school, do your work, and leave. Take the easiest classes possible. That's more or less what I did in high school. And it made my experience a lot easier so that I could have more time to do the things that I actually like doing. So, it's okay to hate school, but don't drop out. Don't drop out of high school. The next question is from Typing. He said, "Hey everyone, I'm 16 years old, and basically my dilemma is that I feel like I'm way too ambitious for my age. And a few days ago, my parents told me that I worry too much about my future and what I'll be doing when I'm older. And they tell me that I should just lay back and enjoy my teen years while I still can. But truthfully speaking, I don't want to. I want to keep on my grind and keep working towards my future and my dreams so I can live my best life into young adulthood. But then I started thinking to myself, am I really that obsessed? Do I really worry that much? I'm just struggling to decide whether I should continue on my grind and work or try and relax and enjoy my teen years while I still can." I definitely relate to you and everything that you just said. I feel like as a teenager, I was very intense. I was always a very intense kid, and that carried over even to now. I'm still a pretty intense person when it comes to my ambition. What you have to understand is that if your parents aren't where you want to be, if they're not living the type of life that you want to live, then their advice doesn't really mean that much. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to listen to your parents altogether, but that's something that I realized. I realized at a certain point that my parents can't tell me how to be a YouTuber because they're not YouTubers. They don't live that type of lifestyle. This is not to say that they're living bad or anything, but they can't tell me how to live the type of lifestyle that I want to live because they're not living it. So you have to kind of find that balance, because the things that they're saying, that is true. Once you are done with your teenage years, they're gone. Okay, they are gone forever. And that's something that I learned the hard way. When I turned 20, I almost had like a midlife crisis because I wasn't where I wanted to be in life. And I realized that my teenage years were gone and they were never coming back. And it served as a very good wake-up call and a reality check that I need to start making better use of my time, because I just finished my teenage years and I have absolutely nothing to show for it. So, I've taken that energy and started, working harder with it, and the results speak for themselves. But at the same time, I've realized that, balance is key. If you live your life just for the grind, imagine if you die tomorrow. You die tomorrow and you missed out on those opportunities to experience your youth. Once your youth is gone, you can't get it back. Time is the one thing that you simply can't get back, no matter how hard you try. So I feel like there's a balance that needs to be attained there. Now, if you want to be rich in your early 20s, you're going to have to put in some work that other people your age simply are not putting in. And like I said, if your parents aren't living that type of lifestyle, they're not going to understand that. People aren't really going to understand you in that sense and that's okay as long as you understand yourself. It's okay to take life seriously, it's okay to chase your dreams, but at the same time, don't let that stop you from enjoying your life as a teenager. Because like I said, once your teenage years are gone, they are gone forever. The next question is from Theo Dallas. Hey everyone, this may come off as cringeworthy, but it's something I need help with. My whole life, I've dealt with lots of feelings of depression, and even more so, I've been suffering with anxiety. When I was 14, I started smoking cigarettes and doing drugs. I'm 16 and a half now, and I've had my ups and downs with substances. And recently, due to the online stress that comes from online school, quarantine, and family struggles, I've gotten back into heavily smoking tobacco. I often try to quit, but the withdrawals and need for that small buzz always bites me back, and I always give back in. Do you guys have any advice for learning to find a way to quit permanently? I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have absolutely no experience with substance abuse at all, but I feel like the mindset of quitting that is pretty similar to the mindset of doing NoFap. You know, they're both about breaking an addiction, a physical and mental addiction to something. So I feel like you need to kind of apply those same rules. I don't know if you're on NoFap or not, but that would definitely be a good place to start building that discipline. And, you know, like I said, it's a physical and mental addiction, so you may not be able to just go cold turkey, but you should try to, wean yourself off of it. Maybe start doing it once a week, then once every other week, once a month, until eventually you find that you don't need it anymore. But if you need to seek professional help, don't be ashamed of doing that either. You need to do what you need to do to get your body right, because you're still growing, you're still young, and you don't want to mess your body up doing those things. And I'm sure you already know that. Give yourself credit for even trying to break that addiction, because that shows that you care about yourself and you want better for yourself. So, you can use that as motivation as well. But like I said, just try to gradually transition into a clean life where you're not doing those things anymore. And over time, eventually, you'll get it down and you'll be clean.